Okay. Briefly, I want to discuss artificial intelligence, soulless people, and transcendence. Soulless people. We're going to talk about that first. There are people on this planet that do not possess a soul. Those soulless people know that they only have one shot at this. YOLO. You only live once. That is the motto for soulless people. If you are a solar being or a being that possesses a soul, that should not be a motto or slogan that you should be using, because you do not only live once. You actually live multiple lives, depending on your levels of mastery and if you've completed your life cycles to evolve or move on to higher levels. If not, you keep revolving in these flesh cycles. So those who do not possess a soul, they know that they only have one shot at this. It's only one go round. So they're trying to make the best of it while it lasts. So they're going to hoard everything they can in this physical dimension. They're going to try and accumulate all the physical things that they can in this dimension. They're going to overfeed their physical ego, because they know that there's nothing after this. So what soulless people are attempting to do is transcend into artificial intelligence, because they have no place to go after here. So their only option is to try and transcend into a form of artificial intelligence, digital, computers, robots, synthetics, things of that nature. Because other than that, they're done. They have no return point. Photosensitive individuals, soulless individuals, those that are allergic to sunlight, vampires, they aren't going to return to their soul origin, or the origin of the soul, which is the sun. Sun and soul are the same thing. You look up those words and you'll see where they tie in. Sol being a Roman or Latin word meaning sun, S-U-N. Humans are light beings, beings of light, those that come from the divine creator. Man are those that possess the soul that comes from the divine creator. Mankind does not. Mankind is a synthetic version of man, a carbon copy, a grafted version, the first form of artificial intelligence. And they've discovered a way to transcend into further forms of artificial intelligence, whether it be through cloning, whether it be digital, through robotics, electronics, things like that. This is what the Terminator movies are dealing with, Cybernet. The Matrix movies are dealing with these machines taking over, these synthetic beings taking over. When you see the increase in dependence on synthetic technology, that's man being controlled by the machine. When you see that people can't function without these synthetic boxes or forms of what they call technology, these electronic devices, whether it be a cell phone, not being able to function without the cell phone, not being able to put the cell phone down, being attracted to television screens, computer monitors, not being able to leave home without these devices, not being able to function without these devices, feeling naked without these devices. This is cybernetics. This is what they call, this is a form of nanotechnology. And what's happening is that this artificial intelligence is recruiting minions. It's turning man into its minions. And just like the movie Transcendence, with the nanotechnology being implanted in people, causing this type of cyber intelligence, cybergenetics, different things like that. This is what's going on behind closed doors with the stem cell research and the robotics and other aspects of artificial intelligence. You think it's to advance mankind. Well, it is to advance mankind. Those that are kind of like man. Those that aren't of the source of the divine creator. Those that are a perversion, a graft, a copy, an unoriginal. Something that was never designed to be here. That's why everything here works against it. If the sun kills it, it isn't meant to be here. If the sun destroys it, doesn't give it life. If the sun doesn't radiate it, if the sun doesn't cause it If the sun isn't a source of nourishment for it, if it doesn't receive nourishment or life from the sun, it probably isn't meant to be here. Because the sun gives life, warmth, comfort, light, energy to the planet and those surrounding planets, the stars as well. So if you don't receive energy from that source, where do you receive energy from? What source does it come from? See, the synthetic man is constantly going to be programmed or constantly going to push synthetic technology because it's constantly recruiting and looking for new recruits and those to be minions and to recruit others into being mindless zombies, those who function with robotic minds and move like robots, those that are easily programmed and conditioned. See, man programmed computers to program man, whether knowingly or unknowingly. People have programmed computers to program people, and now people can't function right because these computers are thinking for them. These computers are telling them what to do, how to do, when to do it. The computers are making suggestions. They're not depending on their soul intellect. They're depending on artificial intellect. And this is all part of the spell, all part of the illusion, the false reality. But then when you dig deeper into that, you realize that reality isn't real. Reality is just perceptions of light, your perceptions of light. And then when you get into illusions, you realize that illusions aren't real. Illusions are just distortions of angles of light or perversions of angles of light that are being poorly perceived or causing false perception. What we think is reality isn't reality. What we think is illusion isn't illusion. One is based off of the other. So if one doesn't exist, then the other doesn't exist. And if one is a simulation or if one is synthetic, if you have synthetic reality, then you have synthetic illusion. The things that we're pointing to as being illusions, are they really illusions? The things that we're referencing to as reality, is it really reality? Or is it just all part of a program? Because when we go back to being human, light beings or beings of light, you realize that light exists without the body, without the vessel, without this vehicle. This vehicle was just something that was accommodated for travel. Now, to limit ourselves to this physical realm, this physical dimension, this physical body, to hinder and render ourselves strictly to the cell of the physical body, the cells of the physical body, which a cell is something that they use to capture or hold captive, like an inmate in a cell. And that's what a lot of that's dealing with when you're dealing with a cell and what cells are designed to do. See, they put bodies in the cell, mimicking how the cells are put in the body. Everything is reversed. Everything is opposite in this physical dimension. Everything in this physical dimension goes opposite of the physical realm or the physical realms. You're dealing with artificial intelligence, artificial creators, synthetic sources of life. And this is why these synthetic people push synthetic programs. They want you to eat synthetic things that they disguise as food. They want you to live synthetic lifestyles, which are really death styles. They want you to function like synthetic beings, like robots, people that have to be programmed, have to be told when to be happy, when to be sad, when to be loving, when to be caring, when to appreciate family, when to appreciate their mothers, their fathers, when to be thankful. These are programs These are for computers, not people. Reclaim your mind. Reclaim your body. Reclaim your spirit. You are far greater than this. Those of you who this pertains to. Because this isn't it for you. There's ascendance. And that's the whole purpose of clean eating and clean living. It's not so much that you fear disease or that you fear death. Because death is an illusion. There's no such thing as death. Energy just transforms. Transfers. From one form to another, whether it be solid, liquid, or gas. Although we are the embodiment of all, solid, liquid, and gas, as man. Now, everyone has their own choices. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own purpose. They must find that. But we must keep ascension in mind, evolution in mind. We can't allow ourselves to continue to be bound to the physical, thinking that there's nothing that comes after here, thinking that we're mortals, not realizing our immortality and not embracing our immortality. Our souls are immortal. Those of us that have souls, those of us that do not have souls, well, this may be the end for them. This is the end of the world for them. Those with souls should not fear this. Just don't forfeit your soul energy, your soul power, your spirit. Stay on course. Don't allow yourself to be prevented from ascending. There are many ascension preventers out there. Do not be succumbed by them. Constantly elevate. Rise and be greater. Because you are greater. You just have to rise and realize. Use your inner eye. And analyze all. And ascend back to greatness. Don't limit yourself to the physical. Go beyond. Beyond the sky. The sky is no limit. You are limitless. Know that these soulless entities will do anything to keep you trapped here with them. On earth. They don't want you to ascend. They don't want to be left. Misery loves company. They want you to stay here with them. They know that you have the potential to ascend to something far more greater than this. But they don't. So they're going to create any type of distractions, anything that they can, any type of ascension prevention methods, techniques, or tools that they can use to keep you grounded, to keep you from ascending, they will use. So that's why you have all of the media distractions, all of the prop agenda, the staged agenda. Like, you know, theater, they have props on stage when they play or perform a play. Because that's what you're seeing, a play, a performance. It's theater. You have lights, you have camera, you have action, you have news screens, you have monitors, you have blue screens, green screens, whatever they call them. And they can show you whatever they want you to see. When you see through that television lens, you're not seeing through the lens of your eyes. You're seeing through the lens of that television, through that device. You're not seeing with your eyes. You're seeing with their eyes. You're not hearing with your ears. You're hearing with their ears. Because what you hear is coming from their speakers. None of this is natural sound. None of this is natural. It's synthetic. It's not natural sight. So you're not naturally viewing anything, and you're not naturally hearing anything. It's all synthetic. It's a program. It's make-believe. You're being made to believe that you're seeing what you're seeing and you're hearing what you're hearing. So when you hear of these events, these cataclysms, these mass murders, police terrorism, martial law, global shutdowns, and all of these other different fear tactics that are being put out there, they're to keep you focused, to keep your energy here, to keep you from ascending. It's to keep your mind clouded and confused. It's to keep it imbalanced. not in a state of harmony, not a state of tranquility, but the opposite. Pure chaos and confusion to keep you devoted, to keep your attention and your energy directed towards these physical false perceptions, these physical perversions of light angles that we call illusions and realities. None of it is real. Stop giving your energies to it. Stop paying attention to it. Stop letting it stir up your emotions, because your emotions are your chakras, and if they control your emotions, they control your chakras. These are the houses that you must master, the aspects of yourself that you must master. So if you're allowing these aspects of yourself to be mastered by something other than yourself, you will remain grounded, stuck here in captivity, earthbound, thinking that there's nothing more than this. Know who you are. Know your place. Know where you come from. Know where you're going to. Don't allow someone else to mold your reality. Don't continue to allow these parasites, these synthetic entities to control and mold your reality. They're not real. They're only real. They only exist because we give them existence, because we give them life. And that's through our energy, through our attention. We think these entities into existence so they continue to be. And the moment we choose to do the opposite, they will no longer be. And this will no longer be a reality, because we will ascend past what we know to be reality, which doesn't exist. It's just the perception of light that a lot of us are misperceiving or perceiving incorrectly, but we've been programmed and conditioned to do so. We've been detoured from off of our natural course. We're not aligned. Our spirits aren't aligned with our souls, so we're not fulfilling our purpose here in this cycle, in this journey. We have to realign our spirits with our souls, and we have to head in the right direction, which is forward and upward. Keep it balanced, keep it leveled, and keep it elevating. We are evolving, not devolving. So we have to stop falling for and giving our energy to these de-evolution tactics that are designed to keep us attached to the physical and not ascend and go back to where we belong, back to the stars, the cosmos, Olarum, or some may call Orion, some may call heaven. I would say the soul essence, or the essence of the soul, is awaiting our return. Will you return? And those who can't, those who possess no soul, the end is near. Those that do possess a soul, don't allow yourselves to be destroyed with the soulless ones. And we must realize and totally comprehend death being an illusion. Don't fear death. Don't feed your energy into these distractions. Let go. They don't really matter. They don't really exist. Those who fear death become slaves to what they perceive to be life. With that being said, family, rise and be greater. Wholeness to you all.